Noswaith dda pawb. Good evening, everybody. And I've been told that the meeting has started by Rebecca here. Thank you, Rebecca. My name is Councillor John Roberts, and I am Chair of the General Licensing Committee. I would like to welcome you all to this meeting of the General Licensing Committee, which is a multi-location meeting. In addition to committee members, we also have non-committee members, cabinet members, officers and members of the public joining us. The meeting will be live streamed and recorded and will be available for viewing after the meeting. Should the live stream fail, the meeting will continue and the recording will be available through the Council's website following the conclusion of the meeting. Can I remind members that translation facilities are available? If you are in the Council chamber and want to make use of this facility, please select the English language option on the microphone delegate unit, and for those attending remotely, please click on the audio settings tab and select English. For those wishing to speak in the chamber, please indicate by raising your hand and turn on your microphone when it is your turn to speak. In order for those online to be able to always hear the translation, for those remote attendees wishing to speak, please use the yellow hand function. When I call your name to speak, at that point, please press the push to speak button. If you have a point of order, just press the push to speak button. That's the same thing. For those attending remotely, please note that those in the chamber will be unable to use the chat facility. Remote attendees, if you do need to leave the meeting temporarily, please put a message in the chat function so the Democratic Services Officer is aware and let us know when you return. When we open the debate to members, committee members will be asked to speak and put their questions first, followed by non-committee members and/or cabinet member. There we are. Before we start, can I welcome two new members to this committee, Councillor Charlie McCovery. Welcome, Charlie, and Councillor Alan Davis. Welcome, Alan. Carry on. Apologies for absence, Rebecca.
So I've had one apology for today from Councillor Alan Hunter.
Anybody got anybody else? No, thank you. 2. Declarations of interest, Code of Local Government Conduct. Members are reminded that they must declare the existence and nature of their declared personal interest. Can I remind members that they must declare the nature of their declared personal interests? Have we got any? None. Right. Urgent matters. Notice of items which, in the opinion of the chairman, should be considered at the meeting as a matter of urgency, pursuant to Section 100BA 6B of the Local Government Act 1972. I have none. Rebecca, do you know of any? John? No? No, nothing. Okay. Point 4, minutes. To approve and sign as a correct record minutes of the previous meeting. Those are to be found on pages 3 to 5 of your pack. Could we just go through page by page, please, for accuracy? Page 3. Page 4. And page 5. Okay. Can I have a proposal, please, and a seconder, and ask for the meetings to be approved? Yes, we have Councillor Sam. Thank you. Seconder, Councillor Andrew. Right. All in favour? Please raise your hand for this one. Thank you very much. Chairman's announcements. As I said before, I have none. Point 6, the main business, to consider reports by the Head of Neighbourhood Services on the following matters. If I can find it. Review of the DBS and criminal convictions policy, which are to be found on pages 6 to 22 on your pack. And I'm going to ask Mr. John Donnelly, Principal Trading Standards and Licensing Officer, to introduce this report. Thank you, John.
Thank you, Chair. The report is to inform members of the review of the policy and guidelines regarding the disclosure, borrowing, service and criminal convictions policy for the issuing of hackney carriage and/or private hire drivers' licences. The policy provides guidance to all persons concerning the criteria used by the licensing authority in determining whether an applicant or an existing licence holder is a fit and proper person to hold a hackney carriage and/or private hire licence. The recommendation is the committee members review and adopt the proposed changes to the policy in Appendix A. The policy itself provides practical guidance to any person with an interest in public and private hire licensing, in particular but not exclusive to applicants for drivers and operators licenses, existing licensed drivers whose license are being renewed or reviewed, licensing and delegated officers and members of the licensing committee or any other decision-making body. The policy has undergone a review and officers recommend that the amendments should be made regarding the below sections. I'm not going to go through the sections. They're listed for members and the policy is also listed and highlighted. So it's a matter if there's any questions for members.
Thank you, John. I'll open the debate and ask for any questions, please. Councillor Wood, I see there.
Yep. Can you hear me, Chair?
Yes, I can. Thank you, Andrew.
No, thank you, Chair. Can you just explain how the DBS update service works, John? Well, the way they have to subscribe to it, and what checks we've got in balance for that, because that's a new part of the service, isn't it? Yeah.
The DBS update service is that any driver any driver, whether they be hackney or private hire, signs up to the service during their application process and stays signed up to that service throughout their application process. There is a specific DBS check for taxi drivers plus barred lists. If the applicant drops off that list, then their licence would be looked at and potentially reviewed. The licensing authority can access that DBS at any time by getting a code off the driver or the applicant.
Okay, so they need to subscribe at the point of actually taking the new license. This has been new licenses, yeah?
It's for new licenses and anybody that's renewing. So on 3 years, the present licence holders will also be required to subscribe.
So are they subscribing to something that we've already put in place, yeah?
Yes.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Wood. Councillor Paul Lucock, please.
Thanks, Chair. Just a checking in question, really. Why is this report coming in front of us now? Are there any specific issues in Conwy at the moment, which means this is on our agenda today, or is it just a sort of rational review that takes place on a regular basis?
It's a review that takes place approximately every 2 years, but there has been harmonisation, a process from Welsh Government to bring all policies to the same standard, particularly with regard to DBS checks. Every authority in Wales will require that drivers sign up to the check-in service on the DBS. So it's an update of that as well as update of some wording. So it is a every 2-ish years review of the policy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Paul. Anybody else, please? Yes, I have. Is it Councillor Keith? Yes, please.
Yes, yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, fine.
Yep. It's just a quick one. John, will there be random checks on drivers? Random DBS sort of, asking the DBS service just for random checks on people, or are we relying on drivers to come forward? Because over the last 12 months, when we've had drivers coming forward, they're like, oh yeah, I'd forgotten to do this or that or the other. So I was just wondering whether there'll be random spot checks going on by the county.
Once they're signed up for the service, then they're required to stay signed up for the period that they're a driver. And we were looking to move forward to doing checks every 6 months. but the licensing authority can ask at any time for a copy of a DBS document. So we can ask them at any time, and they would have to send us a code. And if we found out they were no longer or had not signed up to the service, then that'll be put before members to review their license.
Happy with that, Keith? Thank you. Councillor Samantha Cotton, please.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, right, okay then. Thank you. A couple of questions and a tidying up thing, I think. On page 15, under point 6.6, the words "all similar offences" are repeated twice. I don't know if I wanted to tidy that up. Also, page 21, point number 18. You've included suspension, so revocation, suspension, surrender of local authority licences. Do any of those points underneath need to have the word suspension included in them to reflect that change? I was thinking 18.1 possibly.
You find it, Mr. Donnelly?
Yes, I'm just having a look, Chair.
Okay.
Thank you. I think the addition of suspension was a matter of belt and braces. We actually, in most cases, go automatically to revocation with those particular types of offences. And 18.1 is where we would be actually refusing an applicant. So we couldn't suspend somebody we haven't actually licensed yet.
Okay then. So we doesn't need to be included in any of those.
No.
Okay. And then just the final one that I saw, I think members have already raised it actually, page 22, 20.2, regards to the DBS update service, failure to maintain a subscription. Who is notified? Would the is it only the applicant or the DBS holder who's notified of the lapsing of a subscription? Are any other authorities notified?
Interesting question. I don't know. The applicant will be notified. I don't think we, as the authority, would be notified. We would notify. That's one of the reasons we'd be checking every 6 months and do random checks. So I don't think the DBS would inform us that it's lapsed. But that's the reason. If it does lapse for whatever reason, the license would be suspended and the driver brought before committee.
So the onus is always going to be on the applicant.
Yeah, the onus is always on the driver and the applicant to be a fit and proper person at all times.
Okay. All right then. Thank you. That's all for me.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Jeff Stewart.
Thanks, Chair. Just to follow on from what Samantha was saying, what happens in the when a driver is replaced? He may be off ill and somebody else takes the vehicle, or it could be a private singular driver, and he may have somebody in there from a family. Do we have assurances in place that make sure that there's nobody else takes that on without a DBS? Thanks, Chair.
Yeah, the DBS update service have their own checks to ensure the person is the right person, asking for standard information such as name and address and photographic evidence, and also they're part of the government gateway service. But the difference, a licensed driver as a Hackney carriage can drive any Hackney carriage, and a private hire driver can drive any private hire vehicle. A Hackney carriage driver can also drive any private hire vehicle, hence the Hackney and/or private hire driver. But only licensed drivers can drive those vehicles. Members of the family, colleagues, or anybody else cannot drive those vehicles. It's a criminal offence for any person to drive a licensed vehicle without a licence. And we would prosecute that person, and we have done in the past.
Do you wish to come back, Jeff? We can't hear you, I'm sorry. We can't.
Sorry, but yes, apologies. What happens if somebody actually had, for example, a broken arm or a broken leg, and they had a family member to drive for them? Is that possible or not?
No, not unless that person's licensed.
Okay. Thanks, Chair. Thanks, John.
Thank you, Councillor Jeff. Councillor Abdul Khan, please.
Yeah, Chair. No, if there is no further question, I'd like to propose that we adopt the changes, Chair.
I was coming to that, Abdul. Thank you very much. You beat me to it. Have we any other questions? We haven't. Okay, we'll go to the vote. We've had a proposer, and can I remind you that the recommendation is 2.1, the committee members review and adopt the proposed changes to the policy in Appendix A. Councillor Abdul has proposed. Have we got a seconder, please? Councillor Charlie in the chamber. Thank you. We'll go to the vote, please. And it's the electronic vote. Thank you. And we can close the vote. And I think that's unanimous. Thank you very much. Well, it is. Thank you. Moving on. And we'll close the vote now. Yeah, we'll move on. 6.2, review of draft licensed vehicle, hackney carriage and private hire policy. And that's to be found on pages 23 to 46 in your pack. And the report is going to be introduced again by Mr. John Donnelly, Principal Trading Standards and Licensing Officer. Over to you, John.
Thank you, Chair. The report is to advise members of the content of the draft licensed vehicle hackney carriage and private hire policy, which is attached at Appendix A, following consultation. The draft policy brings together and links all the procedures, policies, bylaws and application procedures regarding licensed vehicles into a single comprehensive document regarding licensed vehicles. The criteria in determining applications and regulating of hackney carriages, hackney carriage drivers, private hire operators, private hire vehicles and private hire drivers. Members are requested to consider and adopt the policy following the consultation. As members are fully aware, hackney carriages and private hire vehicles provide a vital public service, connecting people to places when alternative public transport services are not available or viable. Taxis perform a vital service to most vulnerable members of society, especially in rural areas where there are no other forms of public transport. Taxis also deliver a significant contribution to the nighttime economy and tourism. The support licensed taxis give to communities cannot be underestimated, and the industry is a vital component of public transport within Conway. The consultation was carried out via 40 Conway hackney carriage proprietors, 300 Conway licensed hackney carriage and private hire drivers, 49 Conway private hire operators, Conway's public consultation pages and public notices. 2 responses were received regarding the advertising and vehicles and display of executive plates. Both policies are appendices and are undergoing separate reviews. No representations were received objecting to the adoption of the policy itself. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Donnelly. I'm now going to open the debate. And have you any questions, please? Doesn't seem to be any. Give another minute to think of one, maybe. No, that's it. So we'll go to the vote, please. Can we have a proposer that we, as the recommendation states, members are requested to consider and adopt the policy following the consultation? Can we have a proposal, please? Thank you, Charlie. And a seconder, Councillor Jeff. Thank you very much. Now we'll go to the vote. We all voted? I can vote now. I know which button to press. Thank you. And the vote is closed. And again, it's unanimous. 4. Thank you very much indeed. And now, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That is the end of the meeting. I'd just like to thank you for coming out on such a lovely evening. I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Diolch.